I remember the day I first believed I had everything I ever wanted. My career was soaring, my ideas finally getting recognized, and I felt unstoppable. Clara was my closest confidant, my mentor, someone I trusted with my future and my secrets. We shared late nights over coffee, whispered about dreams and ambitions, and I thought she was my anchor in a world that often felt cold and lonely. She was charming, sharp, and always seemed to be on my side, until the day she turned on me. It was during the company's biggest presentation, the one I had poured my heart into for months, the one that could have launched me into the top tier of my industry. I had worked tirelessly, staying late, sacrificing weekends, just to make sure everything was perfect. I remember the nervous flutter in my stomach as I stood before the board, ready to unveil my vision, only to see Clara's eyes flickering with a strange, calculating gleam. Then, suddenly, she stepped forward, clutching my presentation slides, my work, and with a sickening smile, she claimed it as her own, saying she had helped me refine it, that she had been the real genius behind the clean visuals. The room's air grew heavy, silence pressing in as I realized she had used my trust, my vulnerability, to steal my moment. My heart shattered, and I felt the world tilt beneath me. That betrayal cut deeper than any criticism ever could. I spiraled into a storm of grief, confusion, and rage, my mind racing to understand how someone I loved, someone I thought was my ally, could do this. I replayed every word, every shared secret, every late-night talk, trying to find where I went wrong. But beneath the grief, a dark ember of fury ignited. I started to watch her, quietly, carefully. I smelled her perfume lingering in the hallways, heard the subtle change in her tone when she talked about future projects. I listened to her phone calls, caught snippets of her plans, and saw how she was already moving to take credit for more of my work. I planted tiny pieces of evidence, an email thread here, a document with my handwriting there, things that would prove her deception. I became a ghost in her world, observing her every move, knowing that one day I would have my chance. And then it came. The perfect moment at the company's annual gala where everyone would be there. The executives, the rivals, the friends I once trusted. I wore my most confident smile, but inside, I felt like a storm ready to explode. I waited until Clara stepped onto the stage to accept her award, her voice trembling with false humility, when I pulled out my phone and played the recordings I had gathered. The real story behind her success. The lies, the manipulation, the theft of my ideas. Her face drained of color as I pressed play, reviewing her true nature for all to hear. The crowd's whispers grew louder, eyes widening in shock as her facade crumbled. I watched her stumble, trying to deny it, but the evidence was undeniable. I had turned her own treachery against her, exposing her to everyone she had deceived. That moment was my justice, but more than that, it was a statement. I had taken what was mine, not just in revenge, but to forge a legacy. I used her downfall to launch a scholarship fund for women in business, those who, like me, had been underestimated or betrayed. I wanted to remind others that even when the world seems stacked against you, your strength can outshine any lie or betrayal. As I walk away from that scene, I feel a quiet peace settle over me. knowing I reclaimed my dignity and turned my pain into power. Sometimes the greatest revenge is not just destroying those who wrong us, but building something better, something that lasts beyond the scars they leave. And to anyone listening, remember this: when life tries to break you, you can rise, you can fight back, and you can create something beautiful from your wounds. Like,